everyone, it's Bex. Welcome back to Makeup with Bex. My last video, I really appreciate all the sweet messages I got from folks. It was really nice to hear that you guys enjoyed the video, and the comments when I posted it on socials was really great. One of the things I was asked for was more natural looking or neutral toned, because I did do a heavy purple / black look last time, so I am going to do that. The other thing that was asked was some more affordable options. A lot of the stuff I did use in the first video was affordable. I realized the palettes were a little bit more pricey, so I went through my makeup here and found products that I think are reasonably priced. I tried to stick with products that were under $20 for each product. In the description I will put the Canadian price that I would pay for it. If for some reason it's a product that's not sold in Canada for whatever reason, I will include the price in American, and I will be sure to put USD beside it. So without further ado, let's get started. So as we know, start with your moisturized skin, let it sink in for a bit so that you're nice and plump. And for affordable skincare, outside of specialized stuff for my rosacea, I'm cheap. I like to be frugal with some things. So I really like the Holy Hydration line from e.l.f. I like to stick with the Hydro Gel Moisturizer most of the time. I do have the pot of the face cream, which is the more intensive one for when my skin gets dry. I do get a little bit of dryness in here and in here, especially this time of year with the flip-flop in the weather, when we go from like warm and then all of a sudden we're in a cold snap like it's gonna happen tonight. It's good to have both a more intensive or more nourishing cream like the pot one as opposed to this, but this is a really nice lightweight moisturizer. It's really great and it's relatively inexpensive. So prep your skin. As we know, I like to do my eyes first to prevent fallout. So we are going to use e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I'm using Fair Rose. It's fairly light on the spectrum. As we know, I'm pretty fair, or I like my skin to look more fair as opposed to dark. So because I am going to be doing a more neutral look, I'm not going to go as crazy with the concealer. Normally I will go all the way up to my brow. Today I'm probably just going to stick to the actual lid and be a little bit less crazy with it. So there we go. Now I'll be honest, this is not my first take tonight. I have done other things tonight, and my perfectionism would not allow me to continue with them. So when I started tonight, the Beauty Blender was a fresh one out of the drawer, never been used, but it's gotten dirty now since I've tried some things. Of course, you dampen the Beauty Blender, squeeze out all the excess water. When you're touching it like this, it should not be leaving your hand wet. But you can feel that it's damp. So we're just going to blend into the lid. So as you can see, like I didn't go like crazy up to the whole brow bone like I normally do, because I'm going to try and keep this a little bit more neutral, natural. I'm gonna say neutral. Natural it's still not gonna be natural because I am not capable. And I am gonna do a whole face today. I'm going to try and keep the video way under what the last one was, because that one was long. But we are going to try this. Again, like I said, I did try some looks before that I canceled. These were clean brushes. So you can actually get one of these dry brush cleaners. It just has this little spongy thing, and you just rub your brush in and it kind of takes off the excess product. It will still have color on it if the bristles are natural, because they're going to hold pigment, but it's not going to transfer over. At least that's the hope. So for palettes today, I am going to use the ColourPop Darth Vader palette for some of its brownie tones. Obviously, we're not going to do anything here on the bottom or the red, but the main one I wanted to use today was this bite-sized e.l.f. palette in the color Cream and Sugar. I think these are maybe $4 to $5, so that's why I chose this one. So as a base color though, to sort of get the lid going, oh, now I can't open this, maybe we won't be using it. Oh, there we go. I am going to start by using the shade Imperial Forces, which is this middle one right here, which obviously is a favorite shade here in the land of Bex. So I'm just gonna build this product up on the brush and just do the lid. It's a very neutral base tone. It's just going to get us more taupey than the concealer is. I'm taking it a little bit above the crease. So your crease again is like where your eyelid kind of meets there. I'm gonna take it a little bit above there, but not too much. You can kind of see the products there. It is, again, going to be neutral, so it's not going to be as maybe noticeable as when I do the black as my base for my lid, so bear with me. And one thing I would like to add, while these products are great for their price point, they may not be as pigmented as other products. And like everything in this world, it's easier to add more of something than to try and take something away. So it's better to have a light hand in application and be like, oh damn, I need more, than to overdo it and then be like, oh shit, how am I going to take this off? So that's just a little like food for thought. But again, your best friend in this world is micellar water and a nice cotton pad to kind of clean things up as you go along. If you got a little out of control, it's easy enough to take things off and start again. I've already been here tonight trying to come up with an idea. So there's that. I do want to darken it up a little bit, so I'm going to take the next shade over, which is Battle Station, and I'm going to grab, I even had clean brushes tonight, and then I started and can't take it back. So I'm just going to take this kind of like fluffy, this is a synthetic brush, which I'm not a huge fan of for application of shadows to start. So just because they don't hold the pigment like a natural hair brush does. So, and I'm not really a huge fan of these brushes. I got them more for the color. A week late night Amazon purchase. So I'm just gonna build that up with that secondary color before we start dipping into the darker shades. So I'm focusing more on the outer 2/3 of the lid, because the inner lid is the inner corner and whatnot is where we're gonna do lighter colors and a little bit of shimmer. So you can kind of see that it's darker. It's not super crazy dark. Feel it deep down in my bones. So I'm just adding more. Again, it's easy to add more. It's difficult to take away. So again, we're just doing like little circles with not a crazy amount of pressure, but I can feel it. So you can kind of see it's more dark. We're gonna do our best today. This is not, it's not how I normally do my makeup. So this is going to be an adventure for us all. So again, focusing more on that outer corner, outer 2/3. Okay, so it's there. It's not crazy, but it is what it is. So we're gonna take this little smudger brush that is similar to this one, it's just its bigger sister. And we're gonna go crazy and we're gonna take this shade. They don't tell us what the color is, but it's the darkest one in this palette. So it's usually the one furthest away. We're just gonna dip in. You can kind of see the product there on the black. And we're gonna focus on the outside of the eye. And I mean, for the price point of this product, it pretty much has a complete eye look. It reminds me of back in the day when I was in high school. We used to buy the CoverGirl quads, and they used to have 4 colors. Sometimes they had 6. And there was this one palette in particular that my mom used to buy all the time. My mom barely wears makeup, but she would have this, I think it was something forest. I want to say it had something to do with woods or forest. And I used to steal it all the time from her. And she'd like, the 2 or 3 times a year she wore makeup, she'd like come into my bedroom and be like, where's my CoverGirl palette? And I used to wear the darker shades in it. And funny story, I was not allowed to wear makeup in high school. My mom did not want me wearing makeup, so I was a little bit alternative and I wore a lot of black makeup when I was in high school. But my mom didn't come home until after I'd been home for a few hours, so I would come home and like wash my face. My dad would be like, you better go wash your face. My dad kept my makeup secret, but back in those days, your face was never clean. I don't think it was ever clean. So there was always evidence that I wore makeup. My mom never said anything, but I know she knew. So as you can kind of see, I darkened up that outer corner. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. I have not done a all brown or all neutral eye look in a long. There was like a time not too long ago that I only wore brown shadows, and maybe one day I'll bring out the a tin that I have of all these Urban Decay singles. So Urban Decay used to have these token, they look like bus tokens, eyeshadows, and I was so obsessed with them, and I like bought every single shade of brown, and they were, so many of them were so similar, but I could tell the difference. I thought maybe one day I'll do a look with those. I don't even touch them anymore. Like, they're just here taking up space. Okay, so outer corner, again, clean it up as you go. I really like this color, Sith Lord, but I know it's gonna take it away from neutrals. But just know, in my heart, I want that on my outer corner. So I'm going to fluff on more of that brown shade onto my whole lid, but not quite as intense. I just want a darker lid. Still neutral, but still in a tone I'm comfortable with. And I might actually pull out some of the darker shades in the Darth Vader palette as well. There's like some There's a gray, I think. There is a gray. I also have another one, Mandalorian. If you have not put 2 and 2 together yet, I do like Star Wars. So I do have the palette collection. I am going to take this brush and I'm going to dip into this shade right here, which is just a more of a cool tone brown. It has more of a, you can kind of see here, like this one's more warm and this one's more cool, and I'm a cool toned person. Whatever you prefer, it's one of the easiest ways to know if you're a cool or a warm person is looking at your veins in your arm. If you come across more blue, like I do here, you're a cooler tone person. If you come across more greenish toned, and you will know if you have more bluish toned veins or greenish. If you're more greenish, you're more warm. So, or if you prefer gold, if you look better in gold tone jewelry as opposed to silver, that's kind of an easy way to kind of know too. It doesn't always matter what color your eyes are or what color your tone of skin is. I'm very fair. I have friends that are fair as well, but they are warm toned. And if you don't know for sure, try a warm tone on your face and it just won't look right. Okay, so as you can kind of see, like I just made it a little bit more pronounced. It was feeling a little light for me. There we go. And actually the color I really wanted was this color Creed. It's currently smushed into my bedroom carpet. These are magnetic, and I dropped this palette. You can kind of see it's been mangled. I dropped it and that one fell out and it just smashed into my carpet. Rest in peace, buddy. I was pretty upset because it was pretty pigmented, so it's gonna be there until I shampoo my carpet, which I don't know when that's gonna happen. This is a rental. I don't know when I'm going to move all of my furniture for someone to shampoo my carpet. We'll see. I'm just adding a little bit more of the dark to the corner. Normally I would go for a black here just because I like a dark, but I don't think any of the palettes really have a black. I do have another palette, Blowing Smoke by ColourPop. It's affordable and it does have a black, which is still neutral. Oh, this is a nice mirror. It does have a neutral in it. It's still neutral. Is it natural? No, it's not. But we will do what we do. So I am going to take the black tone from here and just a little bit, just a little teeny tiny bit, just so I can say I'm still me. So I'm doing this incredibly light-handed. Like I'm literally just kind of tapping it. Okay, you can kind of see it's a little bit darker. That's just for my own sanity. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do that. You don't have to. Another really good one, I just bought this on Amazon. This is a Wet n Wild pigment palette in Blacked Out. I think it was cheap. it also has a black in it. So and that one's for sure available in Canada. You don't have to order it from America like I had to with the ColourPop. So options if you don't want to do an international order, which I can totally understand. It's not necessarily the price of stuff, it's the exchange rate, and then it's the duties and taxes that we pay. Like, it's just outrageous. And I'm not liking how this is going on, but okay. I'm gonna stop playing with it so it doesn't get too crazy, and then we have completely failed our mission of neutral natural. So now we're gonna dip into some more shimmery shades to blend that in. Both of these have a nice brown shades for glitter. I really like this Gone Galactic one from the Star Wars palette, the Darth Vader palette, I should say. So again, on my finger, because you have the most control, and it also blends everything in super nice. It'll be easier if you don't have crazy fingernails. I like to layer on shimmeries a little bit more intensive because I do like the shine. It's one of the ways that I'm extra, I guess. So we're gonna do this again with this eye. Almost dipped into the wrong one. And then in the most inner part of the eye, we're gonna do a really light shade. Clean the fingies off. So there is this one here. I think it's a little bit too golden for me. As I said, I am a cooler toned person, so you might want to go with something like that. I am going to, it might not show up really well on this camera when I show it, but I'm going to do Stormtrooper here. It's a really nice shimmer, and it's cooler toned. It's more of a champagne almost, I want to say. I kind of need to take a tweezer to it to kind of scrape off. If you press down on it, kind of takes over, but not today. Not today, she says. And this is just more to lighten up the inner corner. You can kind of see compared to that one. And Shazam. So this is a neutral, natural eye using mostly browns, using mostly darker colors, not too crazy like purple or blue or anything like that. So that's the eyes done. Again, you can clean up any fallout, considering these are pretty light on the fallout, which is great. So we're just going to do that. Now, usually when I did my last video, I didn't use a primer. And someone asked me about primer. I'm not convinced that primer doesn't contribute to my redness, so I'm going to use one today. Depending on what you're looking for in terms of a primer, I like a sticky primer to hold my makeup, a grip one. There are other kinds that you can get that are like more pore filling, but I like this one here. So this is the Power Grip Primer from e.l.f. with niacinamide. This is actually, apparently, I've never purchased the full price one, but apparently it's a dupe for the Milk primer. I've never bought it because I'm not gonna spend $34 on a primer. So you just put it on your face, and it's tacky. It does not dry down. You do not want it to dry down. Now, in my last video, you guys kind of saw me like adding concealer to kind of give my foundation a chance with my redness. I'm not going to do that because I'm putting primer on and I want the foundation to stick to that stickiness, okay? So it is going to feel sticky. Okay. So for inexpensive or less expensive foundation, as we know, I use Fenty, which is not a low cost one. So the only low cost foundation I have, this used to be a hell of a lot cheaper. It has definitely ballooned in price in Canada. I don't know what's going on, I guess inflation. But I'm gonna use the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. So like the Fenty, it is a full coverage matte formula, so it's still not gonna look natural. It is going to be full coverage. But I don't have anything that's not full coverage because I don't use those products. So this is in shade Light. Obviously in drugstore type makeup, there might not be the shade range that you might get in a product like Fenty, where she has every single skin tone, every single, like if you're a warm, a cool, or a neutral. So it might be a little bit harder to find a color that works for you, which is fine. And of course, like we talked about in the last video, if you are not a neutral, like someone that likes a mask look, you can definitely go for like a satin or a dewy finish product. But I'm not that person. When I work from home right now, I've been using this tinted moisturizer just to kind of even out the redness. Because I'm on Microsoft Teams a couple times a day, and that was before I realized you can like make your camera soft. So I just really like soften and blur shit. And I haven't really been wearing makeup every day at work since, but it's been noticed, so. But so as you can see, like it has fairly good coverage. It is, before I started using the Fenty, I use this all the time. It's a nice coverage. NYX is a good quality makeup line in my opinion. Everyone is gonna like different products. I know there's people who really like the e.l.f. foundation, and even the Wet n Wild one. It's only like $4 or $5. I don't know. I feel like there's some things that I just have to spend a little bit more money on, and foundation is one of them, just because I do have a lot of things on my face that I don't like the redness, and I do like a full coverage. So I'm a little hesitant, even though it's like $5, and what's $5 in the grand scheme of things? If I'm not going to use it, it's a waste of money. Okay, so you can kind of see this stuff covers pretty damn well. I didn't do my base of concealer to cover the redness, and I'm pretty much masked. I'm also wearing a red shirt, which doesn't help. This was not a good plan. I was wearing like a longer sleeve shirt earlier, and I was getting hot because I was nervous. So this maybe wasn't the best idea of a shirt when I'm trying not to look crazy red. So I did get my hair done today, and it's still a little warm at the ends. So I don't know if you've been following me long, I had pink hair for a while, and then I went blue, and then I went red. And then after I was red for a while, I got bored and I wanted to go blonde. But obviously your hair doesn't completely replenish that quickly. So I had a lot of damage from bleaching my hair platinum for the pink and the blue. And then I had this incident where when we were bleaching my hair, it melted my hair for some reason. Like my roots processed so quick, and I don't know what was going on. We were really worried. So anyway, my ends are still fairly warm, but I'm going to the Dominican Republic next month. So we're kind of hoping that these ends are gonna lighten up, which they technically do when you're down in the chlorine and the sun. But we did like a lot of heavier blonde up front here and to the sides. It made it a little bit more ashy, this is the look I'm kind of going for. I want to be ashy and white. So hopefully we'll get there at the end. Hopefully, fingers crossed. It's a long process. Okay, so I think the base looks good. I think I'm happy with that. So last time I did contour, I told you I'm not very good at contour. It's not my forte. I'm definitely not amazing at it. But I'm just gonna again use the e.l.f. Halo wand and just do parts of my skin that I think I should contour. I'm not a professional. Someone might be like, you shouldn't contour that part of your face. And your face shape is what kind of dictates it. So what looks good on someone with like a more angular face as opposed to this beautiful chubby face I have might be different for you, and depending on how much you want to look, everyone's gonna be different. So I just do right under my cheekbone. I just blend that in really quick. There's that, contoured. Last time I went a little more heavier with the contour with this bronze stick from Essence. I'm not going to do that this time because it does really intensify, and we're trying to go for neutral natural today. So next we're going to do some concealer. I do need to brighten up my concealer. It's non-negotiable. Sorry. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. If you're happy with how your face looks, don't do it. I'm again using Camo Concealer. I have a different shade for my concealing, where Fair Rose is very, very light. This is Light Peach. It's still fairly bright, but it's not quite as white as the Fair Rose. So again, underneath the eyes, 2 dots, a little bit on the chin. That's it. I'm gonna take a clean part of the sponge and just tap that in. Oh, my dryer's going off. I'm just gonna finish this and then I will quickly run. I don't think I can pause the video because I don't know how. I'm not super techie. I just filmed this on my iPhone with the camera. I don't use anything special. Okay. Please hold. Okay, we're back. So yeah, we are complexioned. some reason my nose is peeling and that was driving me nuts, so oh no. There we go. Anyway, so there, we're concealed. So as we did last time, we talked about liquids with liquids, powders with powders. So once I start doing a powder, I can't then do a liquid again. So we are going to do powder now. I talked about this last time. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. Been using this for a long time. It's inexpensive. You can buy it at Walmart or Amazon. I buy everything on Amazon. It comes right to my door. I don't have to leave my house. And they always have it in stock. They always have your shades in stock. Sometimes you'll go to like the drugstore and they have every shade but the one you want, which is frustrating. So if you're okay with buying it online and don't need to try it in advance, feel free. So I'm a little more liberal with my powder because I am oily. If you are using a less coverage foundation, less matte, you might not want to powder as heavily, and that's okay. It's your personal preference. And when I do my makeup, I'm getting ready in the morning, so I don't notice all this dust everywhere, because I'm just usually not wearing a shirt. Okay, so we're just gonna let this sit for a little bit, just to sop up the oil. So liners, I was thinking I won't do a wing. I will just do lining the upper lash. NYX is my favorite eyeliner of all times. The Epic Ink Link Liner is my favorite. It's usually on sale on Amazon. I do have this ColourPop one as well. They're really inexpensive. But I'm just gonna do just gonna line my line. I'm not going to do the cat eye like I normally do, just to be a little bit more neutral. So if I'm doing, you're gonna stick as close as you can to the lash line. And I'm not gonna go quite as far as my outer. You can kind of see that there. When I open my eye, you can see it. I did Boo Boo. Again, do as I say, not as I do. Use some of my micellar water. I'm gonna use my spit. There's that. You could definitely use a brown liner. That would be even more natural looking. I don't own a brown liner. I only use black, so, but a nice brown liner would be like super cute. So it can look a little harsh when you do a black line with such a light eye look. So if you don't like that, you can always dip back in to your palette and choose a color that kind of works with what you're looking for, and take like a very fine brush and just kind of go over it. And you're just really just trying to emphasize the lash line. So that kind of like didn't really soften it. It did not have the desired effect that I wanted. But maybe use a brown liner if you're not big on lining your eyes. guess. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. But we're gonna dust off the powder now. Okay. I dusted off the excess powder. In the camera, the liner doesn't look as intense, so it could just be how it looks on camera. Anyway, so there's that. So now we can do powders, because we're doing powders on powders. If you want to bronze, you can bronze. I just bought this bronzer recently. It's Get Sandy by ColourPop. I've never used it before. I've never used any of their Get Shocked or Super Shock anything. So I'm not really sure how pigmented this is going to be. So I apologize if it gets a little crazy. So I always bronze where I contoured. So my forehead. Okay, it's not crazy. I was a little worried there for a second. I really just bought this to go away, go south, because I'm gonna be super pale and probably burnt. So I'm gonna want to like not look crazy at dinner time. You can always tell like the tourists at dinner that like have never been before because they're red like lobsters. I've been going for years and I'm still that tourist, so I just forget to put sunscreen on, or I don't know what it is. I don't put it on enough, I guess. Okay, so we just darkened up a little bit, not too crazy. Now for blush, a nice light shell pink would be lovely. I bought this one called Holiday. It's peach, as I said last time. I've been really obsessed with peach tones as of late. I'm not quite sure why, but because it's not really, it's very warm. But I've been kind of into it. Okay, this brush has sat in something. It's important to wash your brushes. It must have sat in something because it's, you can't see it on camera, but it is leaving a weird tone on my face. Almost like contour. So that's not fun. Okay, so we're peached up a little bit. Last, we're going to do a little bit of highlighter. Highlighter, again, one of those things that you don't have to do. It's not mandatory. This looks pretty natural for the sake of today's conversation. It's pretty neutral and natural. You can add a little bit of sparkle if you'd like, which I'm going to do. I don't know where my, oh, there's my highlight brush. So this is Hedwig from the Harry Potter collection from ColourPop. I haven't used it, I just bought it. It is so new that the protective coating on the mirror is still on there. So we'll just have to use the other mirror. It looks to be very cool toned. Has a lot of, it has like lavender, light blue, white shift to it. Again, I've never used it before, so this is an experiment. And then again, I like a little bit of sparkle at the side of my face here. You don't have to. Wow, that's blinding. I'd maybe stick to more of a like sandy colored highlighter, more neutral looking. This is fairly bright. So you can skip that step if you want to look natural for sure. Last step, mascara and then some lips. Again, my favorite inexpensive mascara is Lash Princess from Essence. This one is in the False Lash Effect mascara. Very inexpensive. Again, if you're looking for something super natural, super neutral, a brown mascara could be cute. I've never owned brown mascara. My mom wore brown. It looks nice on for natural. I do like a black lash though. Okay, there's that. Now, extra steps you could do. One thing a lot of people are doing is they're doing like a white liner in their waterline. It makes you apparently look younger. I don't know. Apparently it looks very natural. I am very out of style. I like to just still do a black under eye as well, which apparently is out of style. Remember, do as I say, not as I do, I guess. I don't care if it's not in style. Again, you are going to be putting a pencil in your waterline. If you can't just do it without freaking out, you can gently pull down. So it does brighten up your under eye a little bit. I don't know if it necessarily screams youthful. I have white liner because sometimes I like to do a white liner and then put a color over top of it because it just like makes it pop. So I have white liner, but I kind of like that. That's kind of cute. Again, mascara on your bottom lashes is apparently not in style, so you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just going to do a little bit just to give some definition. Oh my goodness. So last time my nose was running because I was nervous. Now my nose is running because allergy season is back. I had to buy allergy medicine today. It's on sale at Rexall if you're like me and a slave to allergy meds from spring until the first frost. And because of that, I'm separating at my nose because my nose is running. Okay, so for lips, what's in right now? Lip oils are very big in today. Lip oils, it reminds me of a gloss. I still like a color on my lip plus this. So one of the cutest, and they smell so good, lip that are really inexpensive are these Cloud Pouts from Wet n Wild. It's marshmallow lip mousse, so it is a matte lip color. It's not super crazy. This one's Fluffer Nuffer. It smells like candy. This is pretty neutral. And this is like kind of one of the issues buying products online. When I saw this one online on Amazon, it came across as being like a brown, like a nice fawn brown color. Clearly not. It has kind of a pinkish tone to it, but it smells good and it feels nice on the lips. And unlike my other lipsticks that I have, I can wear this and like eat something and it's not like super noticeable that it's like fading off, whereas with like a bright red like last time, you eat something and they look like a mess. So I'm just gonna add a lip oil over top. This is the e.l.f. one, and this color is Honey Talks. It is kind of like a nude shade. I also have the strawberry or watermelon, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a pink one. It's really pretty too. Maybe raspberry, I can't. But these just go on top. And there we go, we got glossy lips. So we are under an hour, so we are beating our time. We did a whole face, we just didn't do half the face like last time. I think we did all of the same steps. So this is the finished look. I just wanted to see what it looks like with the blonde. I find like when I change my hair color significantly, I find that sometimes my regular makeup routines, I have to shift them. But this looks pretty good. That is very white in the front. I am happy with that. So there we go. There's a more natural look, more natural neutral, using browns. It's still me. It's not super light, but it is still me. So that was the video. So as I said, thank you for watching. Oh, we did not set our face. So this is Wet n Wild Count on Me 5-in-1, the count. And that will just hold your face in. So of course, I welcome comments on the socials where I post the link. If there's something in particular you'd like to see, if you've had enough and you're like, okay, like enough, don't care that much, I won't post them anymore. But if there's still interest, I'll still post them. Yeah, so thanks for watching. We are under 1 hour. See you next time.